What's new downtown? Our downtown expert is here to share the latest and greatest. Give it up for broker associate and realtor at Welcome to San Diego Real Estate, Nicole Hazelton.
Well, what's hot in downtown is definitely not the Chargers, and the Padres suck, boo-hoo. But the downtown real estate marketplace is still on fire. Here to discuss that with us today, the life of the party, Nicole Hazelton. What's up, darling? How are you doing? Great to see you.
I'm doing well.
So new developments, there's smaller developments that are going on down there. There's bigger developments that are going on down there. We're going to talk about a couple of the smaller ones today. But in general, the downtown marketplace, you know, there was a lot of talk about the new Charger Stadium going down there. That's not happening. They're in LA. But it didn't seem to slow anything down. I mean, it's just like, bye. We're just still going, moving full force down there.
There's so much of a forward momentum happening with development. There's a crane on every corner in every district, all around town, and from luxury apartments that are being built to condo specs to residential communities, which are coming.
When you see that, when you see those apartments that are being built to condo specs, and what you mean is it sounds like they're going to eventually sell them one day, not right away.
There's a possibility for conversion.
For conversion.
Yeah.
And is that going to be, you know, something that's kind of the norm in downtown because of the litigation issues that have happened with some of those high rises?
I think so. Yeah, I think that the developers, they may as well build their projects to condo specs and have that opportunity. It makes more financial sense for them to rent them out now because there's such a huge population of people coming into downtown for rent. But there's still a lack of inventory for the residential market, and the new buildings that are starting to release are selling.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Pacific Gate by Bosa, which is a super prime luxury building, one that we've never seen in San Diego, is 50% sold.
Is it really?
Yes.
That's over in Columbia District, right?
That is. It's on, well, it's just between the Marine and the Columbia, so it's on Pacific Highway at Broadway.
That's crazy to me. I mean, you know, I get it. That area over there, it's a little more quiet. It's not as downtown-y, you know, it's not like East Village.
Right.
And a lot of people want that. But they went kind of crazy, I thought, with what they were asking for those, and they're 50% sold. They're not even
50% sold. Well,
built, right? I mean,
right. It's not scheduled for completion until probably early next year. And so buyers are buying something that they don't have tangible access to, which is a good sign for the San Diego market.
Yeah, that's crazy. So tell us about Hangar 5. This is
Hangar
in Bakersfield.
5.
Yeah.
This is one of my listings coming
really?
up. It is.
Nice.
So it's a 5-unit community. It's being built by Puji Development, and it's at 2363 Front Street. So it's in Bankers Hill, and you're literally 5 minutes from Little Italy and downtown. You're just to the north of the flight path, so you can watch the planes land, but with the quality of the construction, they really put a lot into the sound dampering, so when you're inside of the units, you can't really hear those planes. I prefer it. I like hearing the downtown noises, and you get so used to it after about a week or two. But these 5 units are just uber contemporary, have soaring ceilings. The 4 lower level units, so it's 3 levels of living space.
Okay. There's
2 on the first level, 2 on the second level, and then a penthouse that occupies the entire 3rd level. And then there's also an underground garage. It's very cool. It's floor-to-ceiling windows, Fleetwood doors that open up and really bring the outside in. The lower level units have a mezzanine level, so 14-foot ceilings with a mezzanine level in place. They're from, you know, 2 bedrooms plus a den and 3 full bathrooms. Then the middle level units are, you know, almost 1,200 square feet, and those are about 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. And then the penthouse is just spectacular, just under 2,000 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do we have price points for those units
We
yet?
do.
We do, okay.
We do have price points. We have 2 active listings on the multiple listing service, but we just have not started tours yet because it's a pretty hard hat construction zone. But we will slowly start to get people through. We have a lot of interest in the property just because there's been such a lack of inventory.
Yeah.
So the units just under 1,200 square feet are starting at $769.
Okay.
So $769 and $799. And then the units that are 1,546 square feet, which are the ones that have the mezzanine level and live more like a townhome, those are listed at $949, $9 and $935.
Gotcha.
So just depending on the orientation in the building, because there's units on the north and the south, so some have a little bit more light. Each will have 2 parking spaces. There's underground storage. There's a big common area patio in the back for all of the residents to enjoy.
What about the penthouse?
The penthouse?
Just curious.
Dun, dun, dun. To be announced.
To be announced. I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
See what happens those first 4, because you're developing a 5-unit project. You don't get time to figure it out.
Right.
Really. You have to just kind of hope that you hit the mark. But I think with the specific thing that I see with that particular development, even though it's only 5 units, is it's fulfilling a big need, which is 2-bedroom inventory. And
Correct.
That's the biggest issue if you start looking in downtown for 2 bedrooms or 2+ bedrooms. You're going to start to see there's very, very little, if anything.
Absolutely.
And that's the real rub. How does HOA going to work on
There is a
this one?
functioning and operational HOA. The HOAs will run between $460 and $600 depending on which unit you buy into. So $460 for the smallest unit, I think $530 for the larger unit, and $600 for the penthouse.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So very reasonable and in line as far as that's concerned, but not so many people to deal with.
Right.
Which is nice.
And I've done work with this developer before. He makes a great product. A lot of thought has gone into the finishes, and just beautiful, just engineered hardwood flooring. The penthouse will be tile. They have a porcelain, kind of Italian-looking marble tile for the bathrooms. Very clean line, sleek, exposed ductwork, that type of thing.
Very cool. Very downtownish.
Yes.
What about Little Italy? That's something
Little
cooking up
Italy.
over there too, right?
Little Italy's on fire. I mean, there's so much going on down there. If you've been down there recently, you've noticed that BOSA had broken ground at the Savina project. They just named that in the last couple of weeks. So we used to call it Kettner and Ash. So it sits right next to the Sapphire Tower and just behind Bayside on the corner of Kettner and Ash. That is going to be 285 units.
Holy smokes.
And they are expected to go to pre-sale in the next couple of months, so by summer, and then the project will be completed in the next 2 years. So unlike Pacific 8, I think there will be a higher inventory of 2-bedroom units. So 285 units coming to downtown.
Coming to Little Italy.
Coming to Little Italy in
That's
the
gonna
residential
go
market.
quick.
I think so too.
Yeah.
They haven't released any pricing structures yet or floor plans or
Nor
anything
should they,
like that. But
honestly, because I mean, the reality is Little Italy, there's just not, there isn't that much geographic space, first of all,
No.
in Little Italy. And that's a great location. Probably going to be great views for one side of the building.
it should be out over Bayside to the northwest.
Yeah.
And then city views to the east.
Yeah, so
which
you're
would
gonna
be
have
incredible.
views,
Yeah.
in both directions. 285 units. That is going to be well received. I think a lot of people are going to bite on that.
I think so too. And it's right on that northern end of, or I'm sorry, the southern end of Little Italy. So you're right in between the Columbia District. You're really close to the Pacific Gate project, just, one big block away. So.
And closer to the main downtown area if you want to head down there, which is where I'm partial to, obviously, but spent 5 years in East Village. Miss it. Have to go down there every week, literally
Yeah.
go down there every week for trivia on Wednesdays at EVT.
Well, it's so funny. When you live in a district, you don't really leave the district. So I live in Little Italy. I never go to East Village. It's very rare. My friends in East Village hardly ever come to Little Italy. There's so much to do in your little pocket where you live.
Bubble,
Yeah.
East Village bubble. Oh man, I miss living there. That was so awesome. What's just go back to Hangar 5 for a second, because that's such a unique situation that you have going on there. I mean, what are the advantages to buying in a smaller development like that versus like a Savina?
The advantages to being in a smaller community, I think it's less people. So you're interacting with less people if you want to maintain your anonymity. This project is nice because they do have an elevator from the parking garage to each level of living space. So even though it's a smaller 5-unit development, you have those luxuries. So you can push your shopping cart up into the elevator and bring your groceries in. You're also looking at the lower homeowners association fees because you don't have a concierge, a security guard, a pool, a spa, a fitness center, those things that start to cost money down the road. So you're maintaining a low monthly due, which is nice. Some communities you'll be able to pick finishes, so being in a larger community and getting in on the ground floor, something like Savina or one of the other developments that's coming to downtown, is you might be able to pick your finishes.
Gotcha. So
There could be a couple of different color schemes for you to choose from.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, it's all good in
It's all
downtown.
good.
It's all good. Don't need no Chargers. Don't need no Padres that win no games. Don't need this.
We
got
don't need no
America's
stinking
finest
Chargers.
city. That's all we need. Nicole Hazelton, thank you so much for your time
You're
today.
welcome.
Really
Thanks for having
appreciate
me.
it. That's it for this week's show. Tune in next week, same time, same channel. We'll see you then.